And good evening, everybody, and welcome to TFC Open Mic Season 2, Episode 11. Obviously, it's the TFC and Community Mid-Raid Tips and Tricks Open Mic. Hi, guys. How are we?
Hello.
Burnt out.
So typical for a mid-raid. Okay, the panel's a bit smaller than normal. It's to be expected. But yeah, Tito's in. He's a happy chappy tonight. Robin's here. George is here. Hefe's in. And we've got the Professor Brian. How are we doing? All right.
There is one professor, and that is not me. I am the TA in this analogy.
Let's call you Yackle instead.
Professor Doogie. He's Doogie Howser, man. Come on.
Doogie Howser.
Mr. Math.
Two doors.
Hey Scott, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, worse. I could be worse. I'm not quite glued to this chair, but it's close to it.
As we just heard, Scott is watching SportsCenter.
Yeah.
So, Red.
I think the best thing to do is just pause, chill for a second, and let's just slow things down, because everybody's been stressing. Everybody's like making mistakes and all that sort of stuff. So I think we'll go from left to right, my left to right, and then we'll start with Brian, and we'll ask you how your raid's going, how you're getting on, what are you aiming for, and that sort of stuff. So Brian, go.
Going pretty well. Was doing A sets and hundreds and graduating to 107s now that I saw some videos and understood what's going on. I'm at 133. My initial goal is 210, but if I get more, well, I'll see what I can do. And I'm learning as I go and doing better. Right.
Woohoo! Good, excellent. Hefe, how about you, buddy? How's things?
Oh, pretty good. I started off the first day just hitting 73s like I did last time, and I was able to kill them in less than 2 minutes, and get to 1.6 million at like every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Then I got bored of that. And so now I'm hitting A sets and hit a couple of 107s, and it's going fine. I'm just not sure what my ultimate price tag, what I want at the end of the day, because we'll probably get it to it later, but it doesn't really look like the armors are working that well or at all.
That's quite a valid way of looking at it, I suppose, isn't it? Not working that well, yeah, or at all, yeah. I can sort of agree with that.
Can they be working worse than not at all?
Yeah, let's talk about those bits, and we'll talk about armor in a second. George, what about you, mate? How's your raid?
I'm a little burnt out. I racked up, I think, about 350 million prepping and stuff, and I took most of today off because I don't know, man. It's just, it's a lot of points. It's a very heavy point load for this raid. And yeah, I mean, it's a break. I mean, it's a 6-day raid, so that's a pull-up. And Hefe's something's going on over there. Sorry.
Hefe's blown his mic
yeah.
up.
I mean, I was a little surprised because I had an issue with the hundreds because I had a certain pattern that I had from last raid. And this time, after I'd killed most of the target, I have the 4 corners to take out. And in the past, I would just set waypoints to kill them and go and find the next target. And this time I found out the hard way that, yeah, you can't kill them before they shoot at you this time. So I think they might have upped the armor a little bit on those. Just enough.
Not as easy, yeah.
Yeah, just enough to get it where you need 3 shots. So now I have to actually watch that when I prep instead of doing the waypoints. But it's all right. I mean, I like the 107. The 107's I think a great target. I was enjoying it. I still enjoy it more or less. The hundreds would drive me absolutely freaking batty. But other than that, yeah, goodish raid. I mean, if it wasn't for all the points, I think it would be a fantastic raid, but it is what it is.
And you set yourself a goal I mean, apart from everything, but have you set a realistic goal?
I'm probably going to shoot for 600 million, I think.
Okay. Blimey. That's all the armor and everything.
I'm a greedy bastard, man. And I have 6 days. I'm already at 350, and I didn't even really play today, so...
Yeah, I must admit, I got burnt out, so I started cleaning up my garage and that sort of stuff today. Which is not like me, to be honest. Well, I'll talk about me in a minute. Robin, how you doing, young lady? Tell us about your raid so far. Come on.
Oh, doing good. As said, I too also like the 107 targets. They're a bit of a challenge and keep getting the pattern down. So after I murdered my fleet a couple times, watched a couple of vids, and then was able to go ahead and get them. And I'm also struggling a little bit in the 100s. Tried a couple different routes and seeing the same things that everybody else is. But on a positive note, hearing lots of noise about excitement-wise with the prize list for a lot of people to be able to catch up on a lot of base tech stuff that's out there. So that's been really good.
Good. Yeah, no, agreed. It's quite decent. Blimey, Rum's in tonight before the show's ended. Hey, Rum, how you doing?
What's going on, guys?
Hey, how's your raid, mate?
It's not bad. I'm clipping you by about 2 million points, so we're hanging in.
You're doing well. As you see, I probably haven't increased hardly anything today because I've really sort of like, I got a bit carried away Thursday, Friday and got burnt out. So I was like, right, I'm going to pause for a bit. So,
well, kind of sitting here thinking, we're all doing this raid, getting the mass amount of points, and we're fighting for secondary hulls. This is the first raid I can think of that there's not a major hull that's a prize. It's all secondary stuff.
Yeah, prize content and that sort of stuff we'll talk about in a second. But yeah, that's a very good point actually, because there's still, we all know, just dangling in the background is, as I put on the page today, just over the horizon. You can't quite see it yet, but we know there's something coming. Well,
sure.
And without a doubt, we also know that there's highly likely to be a flagship
right.
for the second option to raid in the future as well, because there's been a flagship obviously for the Hellwraith. There was a flagship for the Ironclads, and lo and behold, I'd be stunned if there isn't going to be a flagship for this the Icebreaker as well. But we'll see.
I'm sure there will be, but we're stuck with a primary hull that's coming later. That the only way to have it ready for the next raid series is to coin it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a bit sneaky.
Tokens.
Unless they give us a stack load of VXP, which I doubt will happen. Unless it's in the third round of whatever is coming in, they give us 2 times 50 or something like that. But
yeah,
I don't know. I'm intrigued. Not amused, but I am intrigued.
Well, the good thing they've done is, to me, they put the base tokens in there so that you can get at least 2 turrets up and start giving people a chance to fight off the Liberators that are coming. That's
a fair point. Yeah. Yeah, I must admit that I have used those as well. I've done a lot to my base, and I've done a lot in rejigging some of my older holes and that sort of stuff to make them decent. So I've done a little bit of messing around today rather than actually doing any raiding. So anyway, we'll move on. Scott, what about you, buddy? How's things?
It's been going pretty well. I've been hitting the former A sets, the 70s, and I have about 150 million points.
Wow.
Yeah, I got most of the hulls, but like everybody else, I'm getting pretty burnt out. And I don't really know if those 10 million point armors are worth chasing. Another 200 points seems a little daunting.
Yeah, I just can't get motivated to do it myself. But we'll talk about that armor specifically in a second. Listen. Hey, Stu's in. Hey, Stu, how are you, mate?
Hey, what's up, dude?
Yeah, how's your raid, mate? How's it going?
I think I'm on about 250 mil.
Okay, you're doing right then.
The only issues I've already run into is a little bit of lag every now and again. Not too bad. And I don't want to, put a tinfoil hat on, but I could swear that 100 targets have gone up.
You and me both, and yeah, exactly that. I have to say, I've got a friend in my alliance who's only got the Harlock Cannoneer and 3 other cannons. Never got the 4th simple standard one done.
Yeah, I mean,
it was doing fine, and now
2 volleys to kill a turret, and now it's about 3. So I mean, it's not a massive deal. It just means I have to adjust and take an extra circle.
Yeah. Before you came in, I actually had mentioned that I think the armor had gone up because they were when I prepped out, I was doing a certain run and I was using waypoints, and now you can't do it because you'll get shot, whereas before you didn't. So yeah, the armor definitely went up.
Okay. Well, I mean, apart from that, I'm doing okay. I'm a little bit annoyed at the amount of points I need to get for everything. I kind of wish that armor was about 5 mil rather than 10 mil. I mean, if you're going to make something 100 million to get 10, why not just make it unlimited rather than limited? But because it's quite a hefty price, right?
It's. Would you say it's another raid? Really?
Yeah,
it's almost another raid
like
total.
doing 2 raids within a raid. I'm just like, holy crap, this is expensive.
And that's not even a raid like to get the new prizes. That's a raid to get prizes and tokens and like the shards in the store because you just don't have anything else to spend your points on.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty insane for points needed, but I'm doing okay. I'm just taking it slow. I did some maths, and I'm putting in about 1 million a minute if I play at full speed. So to get all the points I need is 9 hours and 36 minutes.
Ouch.
So that's just over 2 hours a day.
Okay, I mean, I mean, you probably didn't because it was that sort of thing. But yesterday afternoon, I was pretty bored, so I actually challenged myself because I thought it's a way just to sit down and just make sure you do it. So I literally put on one of the 1.5 hour cruise, the DOS cruise, and I sat down and I gave myself the target of 100 million points, and I didn't quite make it in the hour and a half, but I managed to get 93 million points in an hour and a half. So that's about the same sort of numbers, isn't it? Really, to be honest, I was quite content, really, to be honest. But obviously, I was trying to watch chat and play the game, and you know what it's like with 2 screens. It was quite difficult, but yeah, it's and to be honest, since then I haven't really played. I'm sort of like messed around on our page and that sort of stuff.
It's fine to have a little break from the game. Like if you get burnt out, man, just take the day away.
Yeah. Well, then I set myself a little challenge, and I saw someone's video about how to do a 71 with a couple of ships, and I thought, well, I could do.
I have
that.
a pretty funny story actually.
Go on.
So, I mean, I'm known to procrastinate whenever I get the chance, and I was thinking to myself, right, I don't really want to do any more of the raid. So I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and roll for a demo squad. First friggin' roll, demo squad. The one time I didn't want to get a demo squad straight away demo squad. It's just like, oh, come on. So I had to go do the raid again.
So you went straight into it again.
Yeah, I can't get one again though.
But it just commits you for an hour and a half, doesn't it? So you're just like that,
Well,
right? I've got to
yeah,
use it now. So
yeah, exactly. Once you get it, you're like, right, okay. If I put it on, I have to do an hour and a half. But
yeah, frustratingly so. But yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Right, jump across. Tito. I know how your rate's going. How are you?
My rate is not going bad in the fact that doing the 170 is quite easy. The 100s, well, as George said, you have to relearn to do them because they changed it a bit. Once you find where are the bugs, so you keep clicking and doing something to not get stuck and lose the full fleet. It's not bad. And if you feel too bad doing that, you can do, as Scott said, just A sets. And I think that before you kill your fleet, you have 50 or 60 million done if you start to accumulate damage to not repairing. So it's not bad. The problem I have is once you get all the main prices and you start to get the armor, you start to wonder it's worth for me to keep doing. And I'm trying to do a stu trick to go away and come back, but each time I go away, it's harder for me to come back to just do armor because I think that the points they put to get the armor is just insane. As target was supposed to be a target for early players to do raids fast, and now has become a grinding target because you need to do 140, 150 before you can get all that you want to get in this raid.
Yeah, they did make it a little bit of a grind for us.
So I think it's now time to make the Gringe moment. Okay, and the Gringe moment is, what the fuck do you think you're playing at? 200 million points for some poxy armor. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in a game. And Tito, you're exactly right. We're supposed to be hitting the S sets, and you used to be able to get over. Your raid was finished, absolutely finished. You got the top holes that you wanted, ready for the next raid format. Okay, and you got your armor and that sort of stuff, and you were done in one evening, 2 at the most.
Yeah, a couple hours. If you could do the S targets when the S targets were first introduced, you were done in a couple hours.
I just cannot. I mean, I am a dedicated player, as you know, and I cannot motivate myself to go and sit through another 200 million worth of points to get a load of armor, which today I actually think is shite, personally. And I'm just not going to do it. I think I've just settled myself down to the fact that I'll get a few more points because I'm going to go and prep a few bits and bobs of my guys in my alliance so they can get some of the basic holes. But I ain't chasing 200 million. I really just cannot be bothered.
Well, why did you come up with the reason you think it's shite at this point?
There's a couple of
there's a couple of bits and bobs out there that.
Yeah.
indicate to me that it's not the greatest thought out plan at the moment, personally. But
We're debating whether or not it's a working as intended, right?
yeah, not working as intended, more as opposed to working as intended.
We're
Working
hoping anyway.
too
Sorry, what's
working
this?
not well enough.
I've been asleep.
You have been asleep, mate.
So what did I miss? Something about the armor?
Yeah, well, there's a couple of write-ups on intent and that stuff. The thing that I'm annoyed with at the moment, I mean, even more with armor, is the fact that we know that this yeah, we're a month ahead and that sort of stuff, so that's great. But the only reason we're doing this a month ahead is because we need the VXP weekend. You know, ideally, we already know, as it's already been mentioned, that the go-to, you know, supposedly damage-free if you're a skillful player hull hasn't even arrived yet. It's not going to happen until after the VXP weekend, probably on the TLC. You know, which will then need coring and that sort of stuff. And highly likely there's a flagship that's going to be coming out, obviously for the icebreaker as well. So we're nowhere near through the grind of this yet. Nowhere near. And
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah,
You know.
and you know the armors don't work, and I've yelled about the armors enough, but I think it's bad for the game going forward that these armors exist in the way that they do, and the things that it means is just bad. It's not a direct upgrade on tier 5 in a way that we would see, and it's tier 5 build armors haven't even been reduced, which still needs to happen. It's just that it's just so bad. I can't see a positive.
No. Well, the only no, I'm just frustrated at the fact that somebody decided that a piece of armor is worth 10 million points, you know, which is just freaking nuts. But
Although,
And it sets a bad precedent for future stuff too.
that's a fair point, Robin, as well. Yeah, because what's the next one going to be? They'll go, oh, well, stats look good. They were happy to go for 10 million. We'll keep it from this point forward, and we'll go 10 million next time. Or maybe make it 12, you know.
yeah. On the VXP thing, I do want to mention, and Larry, I'm sorry, BP Professor put it in his article today. The icebreaker, the way that it looks right now with the rocket that we got, if you have a fleet of 5, you don't need to rank past 50%. You will be maxed out on reload at a rank of 50%. If you have just one hull, if you plan on using it as a tank or something, you only need to get up to 58%, I believe. But he posted it on our page so people can look it up, and he explains, you know, how the rocket, the speed of the rocket right now is only 1 second base, and I'm getting feedback from somebody.
Yeah,
I'm not sure who it
I'm
is.
thinking of it myself as well.
But that's who it was.
Rum.
Yeah, it was rum. But yeah, you don't, like, when you're going through to rank VXP weekend, you don't have to skull these. If you're planning on using the rocket, you don't have to skull them to get max reload out of them. So I thought that was a really good article and an explanation for everybody. That way you can probably save yourself a bunch of coin because, and I think Brian can explain this better, the ranking is not linear, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, getting yourself from 0% to 5% rank in terms of EXP isn't as much as 70 to 71 or 71 to 75. It's why you'll see after the first hit, you'll come back with like 33%, and the next hit, it's like 42 or 45. Well, you've not jumped that many ranks, and so on and so forth upwards.
So yeah, that'll hopefully save a bunch of people a bunch of time and coin, I hope. So
Well,
thank you, Larry.
Let's hope so. I must admit, and I have to say, you know, I've got some that I've just put one weapon on. 4 of them I've done now, and all I've got to do is I've just put my my Tide Seeker, obviously my tank that I use in the FM, and I've chucked that in there now, and I'm going to hit now 71. So already, you know, I'm quite content, and actually I'll probably just do the next 2 alley point sessions as well.
How's that working out?
It's working fine, mate. Absolutely perfect. And I'm taking no damage whatsoever. I've just got nothing on the holes whatsoever because they're quite fast. One weapon on each of the holes, and then the Tide Seeker in the middle, obviously as the tank. And perfect.
Nice.
0 damage, autoing all the way through and that sort of stuff if you want to. So I'm just going to chuck on a few 1-star salties as the weeks go along, and then just, you know, you can do it on your mobile phone if you wanted to, using, you know, one of the
Nice.
browsers. So,
That's
I would
very
say something
nice. I
about
like that.
the VXP you mentioned about the icebreaker.
yeah, go on.
Don't forget that you need turn speed.
Yeah, of course you do.
It's quite low on turn speed as well. Like
Incredibly
as a base
so. As
So
is the
if I was
Imperial,
you,
I think.
I would probably. I mean, yeah, if you want to save coins, sure, stop a little light. But I'm going to go to 75% just so I have the ability to control the ships a little bit.
Well, but those
Yeah, but
things
you're a
are
filthy coiner. You're a filthy coiner. I mean,
Yeah, sometimes.
they're 3 hours each to repair too, without any extra time from armor. So
that's gonna be
So Nick's
coiny.
asking in chat there where to get the dock space. Yeah, I must admit, I'm so frustrated with the issue about dock space at the moment, with all the different type of holes we're getting and everything that's going on. You know, I've had to recycle even more holes. And just...
Well, I only have like 70 out of 120 and nothing in storage because I just recycled everything that made no sense to me. So,
but isn't it frustrating that a lot of
in
those that
2
you
months.
bought, you know, and some of them this year?
yeah, I mean, yeah, it is. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm still pretty pissed. I got nothing but a crap amount of res back.
That's is sad that you have to because if you scrap things that you are not using anymore because you replace it with a new one, like if, for example, scrapping Centurions because you have Cannoneers, that is understandable. But having to scrap stuff that you still use for hitting bases or anything like that because it's working just because you don't have room, I think they have to change the politic about 120.
Well, I mean, it's too late now because I've had to do it. You know, I haven't really had a great deal of choice, frustrating as it is. But, you know, if you want to start building newer stuff, and I do, you know, you've got to keep current, then unfortunately it's cost me to do so.
Yep.
And they're
Dark space is an
releasing.
issue.
Yeah, and the new Rivals Bloodthirst series is coming along. Our other Conquerors series, which is coming along. Our Skill Hole series, which is coming along. Our non-Skill Hole series, and then they'll probably just throw in a ship because why the heck not? And flagships, like, yeah, you might not have a problem now, but you're going to have one soon.
Yeah, and here's the other thing too, where this next raid set, the Garrison one's going to be our FM. What happens if, say, you find that to do the FM as quickly as we do now, because the targets are so precise in tuning, you're not going to be able to do it in 20 minutes with one fleet. Now you're going to have to maybe have 2 fleets if you want to get it done quickly, right? What happens then?
Don't even go there.
I'm just saying it's if that happens, that makes it even worse.
It does. No, it does. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to be a doom and gloomer because it's early days. We haven't even seen what's coming yet. We haven't got a clue. So
that's why
it's more unanswered questions than there are answered questions at the moment. I get that. We've not even seen a target yet. We don't know what's going to happen. We know what's going to be happening to the targets though, and what they're going to become, which is, so I think we're quite valid in having a bit of a concern. I think it'd be the right.
Yeah,
thing
we have no direction really, and that's it reminds me, like, these new armors and stuff remind me of the stun armor when the Cannoneer came out, because we were all kind of going, hey, we might need it, and might this. I mean, I thought we were going to need it, and I bought them all, and lo and behold, we don't need a damn single one of them.
Yeah,
well,
and they've still got another 20 odd in this one to get.
I mean, it's just, and this time it's it's 200 million to get everything if you want to just in case it. That's a big just in case.
Yeah, very much so. But yeah, I mean, I was just going to get Dan's comment there in Dalmatian's comment, sorry, in the chat there, and it's like, if it hasn't seen water in 2 months, then bin it, and all of a sudden they'll throw in a TLC.
Right?
They go, oh yeah, well, the life of your holes.
I was just about to say, on that front, I'm very careful. So, like, anything that's coming out in the raid formats that we're used to right now, so Apollos, Hell Raids, Tide Seekers, Ironclads, Cannon, all of that stuff will stay with me. But pretty much anything else, my Reapers, my Nighthawks, Tiger Sharks, all of those fleets are gone.
Yeah,
if I've already got a fleet that's capable of doing that target, it's gone.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah, and even things that are older than 2 months old, with their new thing about raid cycles, they'll just they'll just keep bringing them out in TLCs. So if you were like, oh, I haven't used my Apollos in a while, and suddenly they bring back a campaign that has Legion targets for some reason.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, you know, I make sure I have one fleet for every kind of job.
Battle.
If that makes sense.
To a battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely.
As long as I've got one fleet for every job, I'm happy. The rest of them, I don't care. I'll just.
I mean, I
recycle
wouldn't
it.
rush to like recycle your ironclads for a start, you know, because
Well, as crap as they are, I might as well.
yeah, all they got to do is bring out one of those targets, obviously that the ironclad can do for a piece of cake, and bring it in the TLC, and all of a sudden you're scuppered again, aren't you? So,
Mm.
I don't know. It's yeah, it's interesting. So, has anybody picked up a prize that they weren't expecting? Or is there a prize in there now they've actually gone through and started collecting some prizes? Because some people do it early. That you thought, I didn't realize I was missing that. Is there anything that's jumped out at anybody at all?
Kind of, yeah.
What have you grabbed, mate?
Well, mine was more of a glitch, which shocked me.
All right.
So I was doing the structure build tokens because I wanted to do my shipyard because I'm a noob apparently and haven't done it. So I started grabbing all the tokens and whatnot, and I was doing it on the world map, and for some reason I ended up with way more structure build tokens than I should have. Like, I have no idea how it happened. I ended up with 10 instead of 8.
That's random.
Which is nice for me, don't get me wrong, but I was just like, oh, okay. I wish I could repeat that for like the ship build ones. But yeah. Yeah, apart from that, anti-rocket 4, I forgot I didn't have that, and I was like, there's also a glitch with the anti-rocket 4. If you don't own the blueprint and you attempt to see how long it is to build on a turret platform, it comes up and says must have intelligence lab level 1.
Oh yes, yeah. I've seen that a couple of times actually.
I think that's really annoying. I had to redeem it to see it.
Yeah, you can't just have a look at it, work out how long it's going to take. You've got to actually get it, and then you can have it.
Yeah. So those are the only things that jumped out.
Yeah, I've also noticed another glitch. Unless you're, how many? What's the maximum number of Zoe Vendettas that you're allowed to build?
Now it's 2, isn't it?
Is it 2?
Now it is, yeah.
Okay, so it's not a glitch.
Because I picked up my second one today. Just because I.
Okay, so it is. Okay, I thought it might have been a glitch because I own the blueprint, but I've never built it, and it's letting me buy another one. So I thought it might have been a glitch, but I guess it's working as intended.
I never saw any writing to say you could build a second one, but you can because I've already got one built, and I went to my dock, so I went to my shipyard, and I actually started building one. I cancelled it straight away because I'm never going to build it, but like I say, I'm a bit of a hole collector, so. Yeah, you can definitely build a second because I did test it today.
I'm gonna see if you can build a second Harlock Citadel right the heck now.
You can't.
Oh,
they're not gonna do that. Come on, bro.
Yeah. The only one we wanted to, but then that'll be obsolete soon. You know, I'm just hoping for the poor buggers that they still plug in all these Harlocks still and that sort of stuff. You know, that people are still going to be able to, you know, use some of these.
There needs to be
the B sets, at least in the B sets, you know, Harlock Citadels and that sort of stuff, you know, with obviously HVR and that stuff, because they can sure throw some mortars, can't they?
There needs to be a TLC, like where we're fighting against the Forsaken, and we just break into Harlock's stash of all his holes, because that man has a lot of holes.
Yeah, I don't know how he's losing so hard all the time because he's got more holes than everybody else.
Well, because those holes take so long to build, you see.
All right. So it's supply and demand. Is that what you're saying?
Well, he's not got his forces built up yet, and then we all build like our ironclads or whatever and just rush them and kill them. The Zerg rush of BP.
Zerg rush. Yeah, you go. I was about to say it.
See, I reckon he's a non-coiner. That's what I reckon. Don't you? I reckon he's a non-coiner. That's why it's taking it so long. No dig, mate. No dig at all. No intended.
No, I know, but that was funny.
Well, I reckon. I reckon.
He's one of the new up-and-coming players who can't hit tier 5 in the FM, so he's got to, slow build everything.
Exactly that, mate. Yeah. Which obviously Greta is, she's just like whatever. I'll just put another 500 down.
Greta's got this super advanced economy where there isn't money, so she just orders people to do things incredibly quick, and they just do it.
I just thought she went out and turned tricks, mate, and that was it. She got plenty of dosh. I don't know.
Oh,
Was that the wrong show? I don't know. Is that for you, mate? That one?
Oh god.
this is Saturday, right? It's Saturday. Okay. I just had to check.
It is Saturday, yeah. Sorry. See how bored I am? Even I'm doing it now. Oh,
Welcome to the Crib TFC crossover.
Yeah, there you
Got
go.
the people here already.
we may as well, you know.
Hey, I do have one mention that I want to do. It's a semi shout out mention thing, and Stu's gonna love this. But Vengeful One from SDS7 is in my sector this raid, right? And the little bastard is actually running his Cannoneers zombied, and is something like 44th in the world now for a global for points. I mean, he's been playing nonstop, I think, but man. Zombied fleets, and it's an option. So if people are getting frustrated, it might be an option to try. You know,
Yeah, a couple of my allies are doing that as well.
Man, he must be putting some time in the seat.
I think part of the trick is that he's using Midnight Marauders.
Alrighty. Yeah.
So he's
However,
using the Midnight Marauders on top of the
with the damage,
the
yeah.
zombie.
I don't
Yeah, so it's
understand.
automatically whacking.
I don't understand why the reference towards me.
Because you hate SDS7
I don't hate SDS7.
with a passion.
with a passion. There you go.
Tell the truth.
I
doing-
just hate Ewok.
Come on, Stu, tell the truth.
It's all Ewok's
You have
fault,
the
right?
chat logs. I mean, what?
It is all Ewok's fault. Like, if I could slap that guy, like, that would be my mission in life. Like, I would happily die just after slapping Ewok.
Hey, I can let you slap him, and then I can run you over with a bus. I mean,
Yeah,
would that make you
Sure.
happy?
Yep. I would actually die in peace. Like, legit.
When you've already thrown him under the bus, might as well just.
Nah, he's alright. He's a bit of a troll, but he's alright. But no, I don't even know who this stuff is, actually, so.
Vengeful
what?
Vengeful One. He's one of the guys. Yeah, he's one of the guys that's in their alliance.
Oh, I thought you said stuff.
But he's in my sector, and it's I thought it was kind of neat because I don't know if it's because of the crew or what, but he's cranking through the damn things. I was like,
Yeah,
I mean, faster than I am.
Yeah. Like, it's
So Midnight
definitely-
Marauders, yeah. If you got some Midnight Marauders in your dock and you die doing it regularly, you might want to try it. See if it helps you.
When was the last time we were able to use zombie ships?
Well, that was a while
Long
ago.
The last time I used them was in the Scourge raids.
Yeah, I was going to say.
When they took it away from subs, it got pretty difficult. When they had everything that outranged all of us, it got pretty difficult.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. That was probably about it, wasn't it? As soon as you start going subtastic. In fact, yeah, as soon as you couldn't launch
Subs.
zombie subs, that was probably it.
Couldn't
That really
refit him.
spoiled everybody's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, some people still run the Hylock Ironclad. Is it the Hylock Ironclad? Tideseeker, the Hylock Tideseeker, that's it.
Yeah, zombie and just put
They'll
it
zombie that,
away.
yeah. They zombie
Oh,
that
yeah.
one a lot.
Yeah, I always forget to do that. I end up just running it in the fleet and then just thinking that takes a long time to fix.
Yeah. I find them under Drac bases when I'm looking for megas once in a while. I'll click on that and I'm like, that's not a mega. Oh, hey. And I'll just go and sink them for fun. But,
Yeah, enjoy that build time again. Yeah,
Yep.
I'll fix time,
Oops.
That's evil though. That is.
No, it isn't.
Well, that's BP.
I'm
So-
an angel.
I did giggle this week, I must admit, because I did slight change of subject, but I did have somebody that PM'd me and said, would you mind coming over? I showed you, I think, in the chat, in our TFC chat. Would you mind coming over and doing some preps for me? And I was like, oh, that's he's asked and that sort of stuff. I wonder how he's getting on and stuff. And I thought, I recognize that name. And then I noticed it was a guy that tried to flatten my base twice this week.
That's right. That was awesome.
Which I thought, he's either really taken the mick now, or he's actually been genuine. I wasn't sure which way to take it, but it did make me smile. He went, oh, yeah, you're the guy from TFC, that sort of stuff. Yeah, you're the one that says you don't mind helping people. Do you mind coming over and helping me out? I thought, yeah, I'll come and help you out, mate. Of course you will, I thought,
whack
hang
me,
on a
son
minute,
of
let
a
me put my
bitch.
battle log a minute. No.
I want to know, did you finish the garage or not?
Yeah, I did. So,
That's good.
I mean, let's not get talking about too much domestic stuff.
I
But
was just about to say, what is this now? TFC tonight, we find out how Mark's garage DIY job went.
Well, it was mentioned earlier when, if you were on time, you would have known, but you were late. So
Meow.
Screw you.
Hey! I'm allowed to be late to a show because I'm fantastic.
Yeah.
That's my
It's more like, he's fabulous.
he's
yeah,
fabulous.
pretty much.
Man, he's a special. nutcase.
No,
But yeah,
I
guys,
generally
cool.
actually it just popped up on my phone. It was like TFC is live, and I was like, oh, what's that? Oh shit!
Yeah.
Just ran upstairs.
So even look, Nick in chat, he's like, garage. What garage is that then? So there we go. So believe it or not, long story short, okay, it was a day for being outside because I was sick to death of sitting in front of this PC screen. I was getting bare eyes. So I went outside. The wife was doing some gardening type stuff and that sort of stuff. So we went, right, I'll clean the garage. There we go. So tidied up things, did the man things, played around with the tools, that sort of stuff, and felt quite good afterwards, I have to say.
Yeah. Look, just for context, this is just for context for Kixeye. This is how much we are so loving this raid, okay?
Well, it's a direct correlation. Yeah, exactly that. Because I was so pissed with what I was, even the thought of doing 200 just to get some poxy armor. I thought, no, I'll actually go and do the chore that I was told to do about 5 months ago.
Rather than your VP chores, you were doing.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they were going for fun, you know? I mean, that was the whole plan that they had stated a couple months back, or, yeah, several months back now. And, you know, while I do like the 107, it's fun if I didn't have to do it 500 times.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You know.
I'm sitting here doing, obviously, with that two ship fleet thing, I'm sitting here doing 107s now, just on because it's nice and slow this way. So I'll stack up on hundreds later.
I did that just after the start of the show, and I got a spinny ironclad into a launcher and died.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's just like, yeah, I'm going to ignore you trying to move away from the launcher, and I'm going to keep moving you towards that launcher.
Okay.
Because reasons.
They don't last very long, do they?
They really don't.
Because you've taken off obviously the CL3 and put on layered armor instead. So,
yeah. As a point of clarification for the people out there, a lot of them have probably seen your video. Has anybody tried it without the Harlock Tideseeker? Just a vanilla plain Jane with Millennium guns?
I do.
Yeah. I'm using So I'm doing that now because the Harlock's got a bit messed up. So I'm using a standard one at the moment, and it's working okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I was a bit nervous, I must admit, but I've got no crew on it and that sort of stuff, and it's just. So I'm using the Harlock Cannoneer this time, just flipped it around, just for I don't know why, but just chose that way. I'm using a standard ironclad, so it's a bit slower, obviously, getting to the target. So I think it's about 12 minutes damage as opposed to 8 minutes damage, just because it's a bit slower. But it's working fine.
Have you thought about putting on the what is it, Cylon Hunters or?
Yeah, could do.
That's a cheap crew.
It is. Yeah, I should roll a few, shouldn't I? To be honest, but I'm just being lazy. To be honest, Hefe.
Okay.
I'm quite good at being lazy.
Alrighty.
You think I'll be quite dynamic, but I'm not. I'm actually quite a lazy person at heart, you know, especially playing the game. So if there's a shortcut or an easy way, I'll do it. So.
Yeah, well, I don't. Yeah, the shortcut's nice. I like, trying to remove the stress out of it. That's like, I explained I did the 73, and I remove that. I take out that central turret right away, and then go and get a beer, and then come back.
And it's all chill, isn't it? After that, yeah.
Yeah.
That could be the go-to target, couldn't it? Later on in some of the PvE stuff that we might have to do later in the year. So
we hope.
I'm not quite sure what they're going to pick yet, but that would be a reasonable one, I think. Single point of entry, as George has said several times. Yeah, it's quite decent.
I still don't know why they kept pushing stun resist as this huge feature, but in the A sets and S sets, only one target had a stun thing at all, and it's really easy to dodge.
Yeah, weird, isn't
it?
Weird. Considering at the start of it cost a lot of spawn duties as well, and then it's been like 10 you've been be able to get 10 every. And I've been thinking to myself, well, I better get them just in case. And I thought to myself, right, now I've got so many of them, what am I actually going to use them for? It's like, nothing. Okay. So that was a waste of time.
Yeah, I took some off.
It's frustrating, isn't it? You're like that.
Yeah.
Why have I bothered doing that?
I'm sort of wondering what
points.
Been duped again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sort of wondering about the field resistance on all the new halls, as how, because a lot of people are making the assumption that the Zealous is going to be a possible tank in the next raid cycle to pair it with the Empyrean. But at least I see that a lot of places. I think even Ren put together a video.
Yeah, because Ren's a bit hacked off. Obviously, he was hacked off before he started the raid. To be honest,
But I'm just wondering, that one doesn't. But I've seen a lot of people are jumping to that assumption is, Zealous tank for the Empyrean. But the Zealous tank doesn't have the field resistance stat, and they're very high on the new stats. It's like, what is it, like 75 for the Empyrean and 90 for the Icebreaker?
Mm-hmm.
That it
Yeah, but the big
like,
question, Jefe, is this field resistance relevant at the end? Because I remember we all getting that armor that was supposed to be a stun resistance and thinking that was going to be on the Cannoneers because the Cannoneer got also that on the main stats, and at the end, nobody is using that armor and the stun resistance unless you make a huge mistake and you don't want to make it because first you get the damage from all those other short-range turrets. You don't need that stun resistance at all.
It's a cat with fucking laser beams. I'm not on mute, am I? Shit.
Yeah, it's a cat with laser beams, mate. Yeah.
I was just looking at the screen and I was just like, wait, it's a cat with laser beams. How cool is that? And then I realized I wasn't.
It only took them 2 weeks to figure it out. Awesome.
That's just flash to bang time.
I'm amused by strange beings. Carry on.
Your BP news right here. We are the best.
I generally thought I clicked mute. What the hell?
But yeah, that was my point, Tito, that it seems like that's the real obvious thing in the new hulls is this field resistance. And we had questions about it last raid cycle, and we don't really know what's upcoming. So it's, we just have a lack of information on how to build for the next raid cycle because we're looking at the clues, but the clues last time sort of led us astray. And,
I concur there, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Strengthens the theory. Ooh, actually, might not. Oh, I would hope more because you mentioned last night that you think that it could be a reload reducing field. Yes.
Well, reload. I think I mentioned defense resistances as, I'm just looking at like the glacial and some of the other things that provide like the ice patches because the Dracs do the ice patches, right, and the Reavers do the fire patches. But a lot of times it's reload reduction, speed reduction, defensive resistant reductions. Because I think I brought it up related to the new armor. That potentially the new armor might be immune to the lowered resistances part of some of these tactical fields.
All right.
It's two different mechanics, right? Because maybe normally those field resistance, when they nerf the main resistance of the hull, not the deflection or not the reduction.
I really hope they're going to leave resistances alone because that's the main thing that we all strive to have in a lot of specials that give field resistance. There's not a lot of hulls that have it inherently. I'm hoping it's a slow field because at least then, like, yes, your Zealous is a little slower, but Zealous are really fast anyway, so it's fine. And Reload's my second option at a guess, but even then, like, that's going to reduce the efficiency of your countermeasures. And as we've seen with the FM, if you're in range to hit them, even with your spotting weapon, you're within range of basically every single turret on that platform in that group. So you kind of need all the countermeasures you can get.
Yeah, a fair point. So Stu, you were saying you picked up something in the raid that you weren't surprised about, and that was from a glitch, So there you go. There's a Billy bonus. Unless you already had 2 build tokens left over from your FM. From the
I didn't. I always check.
You always checked. Okay, so lucky you and unlucky everybody else. What about hulls or turrets or anything else that you've picked up or you've looked at it and actually you've looked at your fleets that's in your base and gone, I'll just do some adjustments there? Anything at all?
Well,
generally content.
Just because of the Stu, I got that Rocketeer because he said that TLC was so hard and he was so sad not to have it. Just because of him, I got that one.
Oh, I'm glad I could help your game, motherfucker. Oh, I said that.
So you helped out. You have helped him out, mate. Not going to.
I don't know if he helped me a lot. I got to choose between armor or turret because cost the same.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going around getting everything but the armor, just as a point, because I'm just disgusted, to be honest, at the cost of the armor. So.
If I could sum up the raid.
Go on.
So for new players coming back, the tech that you don't need, quote unquote, for next raid, very highly priced. Because everyone agrees on that, right? You know, armor's insane, prices for hulls insane, having to redeem stuff before that stuff, paying a premium price, blah 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 blah. But on the other hand, the technology that is in this raid as well, awesome. The prices on that technology, awesome. I do not see a single piece of technology that's not, you know, we need it in the raid that's priced unfairly.
No, that's a good point. There's a lot of and not just missing things, but
if aid upgrade, awesome. But even the tokens, like check out some of the tokens. Like what was the is it Ironclad 500,000? Granted, the Ironclad's dirt, but
well, I mean, if it's all you got
today,
yeah, exactly 500,000 points for an Ironclad token. Come on, that's awesome.
Like VXP tokens as well, which can help because 36 hours of good VXP, and these hulls are 3 hours, maybe even longer to repair from fully dead. And if they're keeping with these targets where we don't get damage, we don't get VXP by dealing damage, then this will just save us hours and hours and hours.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, I do like the prize list. Like, if you take away the stuff, you know, the other stuff that we need for next raid or whatever, I love
the early items. Yeah,
it's amazing. The prices are awesome.
But you know they're going to say
4 million. Come on,
well, the cat mill for 4 mil is a steal. I must admit, there's executions in there which is really cheap. I must admit, which are, you know, we all know are. Yeah, you can shoot the odd one down, but we don't know that.
If a player has kept up, and if that player is in a position in this raid to gain the points needed, they are laughing from this raid. Like that's it. You know, they've got so much that they could do after this raid. It's insane. I mean, not just with like building fleet, but base upgrades, you know, equipping, stuff like that. They're going to be busy for a long time.
And the thing is too, with the high prices on the stuff that we need for the next raid, I feel like it's disincentivizing the lower players as well as the higher players. But you know, that's a whole different thing. Because you need the generalist stuff no matter what, and a lot of people might get that first. But after that, it's 60 million for the icebreaker. Go look through the PvE holes and the PvP holes and all the tech, and think about what you could get with 60 million.
Yeah.
You could get like the top end, like the tier 5 tech for every single raid cycle and probably have some left. Just get some tokens and start building them all. Like, that's amazing.
That's true, but I mean, it's that premium price. You know, I mean, I'm not going to say that I agree with the premium price that we have to pay more to get the whole a month early, because I don't like the idea. But I mean, it was stated that it is a premium price that we pay, so we pay the price. We knew
it is, but in some respects, look, I mean, the day you cannot rank the damn thing apart from a VXP weekend properly. Yeah. Okay. So you need to get it in advance, because if you're going to get it in the raid itself, then you've got to wait another month before you can rank it, and then that's raid number 2 of the cycle. There's only one more after that.
You know, I don't like the idea of paying for a premium price boat, but at the
same
time,
I have
it's stated. So
I don't have a problem with the premium price if we had the premium hull, but we don't this time. Like, if this was a 50 million point hull because it's the second tier, I could live with that. Even if it's a premium price because it's 50 million because it's the second tier hull. The 90 million is supposed to be for, you know, a premium hull. It's supposed to be the top. It's supposed to be the skill hull.
Now,
if they're going to swap
I agree with.
Yeah, if they're going to swap it, I have no problem with them swapping it because it might help them get some coin in the first raid. Great, that's fine. Their prerogative.
Yeah, the price should be lower.
But the price should not be the same as the skill hull.
Premium,
it should
not. Skill hull, yeah.
I think, like, I mean, we're used to paying, like, this, I can't remember exactly, so surely Brian will remember, because apparently he's got a brain like a sponge. But, so, what do we usually pay for just, like, a top hole when we enter a raid? I'm not talking about first raid of the month, I'm talking about just a normal raid. What's the normal price?
15 million for the whole, 9 million.
So let's say 25 to 30 million for the auto hull. I'd say that is a fair price. I mean, if you want to put in extra stuff to redeem with it, like the Imperium for 15 million and blah, 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 sure, okay. But I think 25 to 30 million for the auto hull is a fair price to pay. 60 million? No.
If you're going to pay double, I get that. One a month early,
I
pay
agree.
double, but not the amount we're paying now. Good God! I mean, what is it, 6 times or something like that?
If you just want the whole, yes.
Yeah, and can I
6 times.
add here that should Kickside decide to change the price on that armor? Because I'm just kind of looking at the 10 million. And I'm like, I wonder if it's going to be cheaper next month. If it goes down to something like $1 million, there's going to be a lot of angry players.
Including me.
Well,
Yeah.
and the big question. Normally, the main things you need for the raid keep coming. Are we sure this armor is not coming back next month?
It probably will. Like, honestly, I don't want to say that it will, because then everyone will be like, oh, I'm not getting it. I'm going to go get it next month. And then they'll be like, oh my God, he said it wrong.
Surely,
probably
based
will.
off the previous one, it will be. And it'll probably be in the locked store, won't it?
Yeah, probably a lot cheaper. But, it's paying the price to have it early, which sucks.
Yeah.
But they
the
can't
price
be
was
10
low.
million, surely. Because I mean, the whole idea of having things in the pre-start raid, which is what we're doing now, is that you pay a bit more of a premium, a ridiculous lot for the armor, in all honesty, but you're paying double because you're getting it early, and you can have time to build it slow time. So but if it's actually after the raids, the format's begun and that sort of stuff, they can't. Yeah, put it in the lock store, but certainly don't freaking charge us 10 million for it, because no one's going to bother then. And then we've got one more raid and we're done. Waste of time.
Yeah, with how they like to make things like this, they like to have certain things that are effectively required if you want to do well. And this armor just looks like one of those things. And if you make it required to do well, charge a premium price for it, and then don't have it next month, then who's going to do the raid? Like, we're all already sick of this raid, and even the people that can get the armors are thinking about not getting the armors because the armors aren't working right now, and we don't see a viable use for them unless they make things incredibly unfair next month at the exclusion of everyone else. So it's just like they need to have them next month. They should have been cheaper this month. They should be even cheaper next month. And if you're going to make them as required as you're leading us to believe, I think they should be in the unlock store.
Yeah.
You're not going to be ready soon?
Yep. The other thing that I want to say too is that
you want to put another coat on?
all right, if
that was legit this time. That was legit.
That was legit this time. If the price, the price for this thing should reflect its abilities, right? So I'm just saying, if this thing does not perform as well as at least the Tideseeker, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. If it performs like the Ironclad, I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm gonna do a Brian and flip tables.
If we should be getting
You're putting yourself
what
in a
we
big
paid
challenge
for,
here to reach that.
if we should be getting what we paid for and we buy the armors, can they give us raid points on top of the armors because they're not working now? Like, pay them to take it away from them?
Can I redeem each one for 10 million next raid?
No, you take them all from the store and you get 5 million points like right now. And the armors.
I have another question about next raid.
Go on.
What's going to be on the left-hand side?
Well, that's interesting because Leon actually did get a bit of insight on that one. George, did you get that information as well? About potential? I don't know, it's a bit early.
No comment?
Yeah, let's go for a no comment, okay.
A heavy armor slot?
There's this thing called the Fifth. And we played it.
No, there's a thing called, there's some stuff that, is not information. I'm not even going to no comment.
No.
I don't know nothing.
Okay, because what I was going to say is the fact that we're receiving the icebreaker now. Are they going to have the skill hall on one side and the icebreaker on another, or we're assuming that
the icebreakers could be on the left hand side, with the skill hall on the right hand side, or the icebreaker could be at the bottom in the unlocked store.
Yeah, I think it's going to be left. Go ahead.
And something else on the
I was just going to say, if they keep with what they've done in the last few raids, the icebreaker should be on the left because we're getting the new one in the TLC, right?
Mhm.
So that one should be on the left, and who knows what's on the right? It could be
And
anything.
something else on the right hand side. Yeah.
I think it's going to be skill hull on the left, new PvP hull on the right, and icebreaker in the bottom in the unlocked store for like 10 million.
Oh, you are dreaming now, aren't you? 10 million.
Well, one piece of armor or a
I want-
whole ship.
What, Brian?
All this could be.
We're paying 10 million for a piece of armor. You've got to pay 10 million for a hole.
Ah.
But I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I try to price things fairly. What do you want?
Yep, that's not going to happen.
Fair, but I
just-
try.
Yeah, I'm just asking because people that might have priorities on what they might want to buy for this raid with their points,
Agreed.
we have to think about what they're going to potentially win next time around, and it's sort of confusing because last time we ended up with the alpha when we got the prize early on the right hand side, and the cesium scarab UAV,
Oh, yeah.
and those were hulls that they basically sort of threw away. They have so many problems with them, and they haven't really addressed fixing them at all.
Yeah,
Why
well, the
did they
UAV
make
has
a
a huge
UAV?
problem.
Why did they make a UAV?
I have no problem if they made it and it worked. It didn't work.
But
It
that's the
doesn't
thing,
work.
they
It's
don't.
the shit.
Well, they
The
just
last
gone, oh,
one
well, that
didn't.
was that. You know, we've run out of time to do anything about it, so we won't bother.
Might as well
Yeah,
just
it-
make like 10 countermeasure slots on that hole because that's mostly what it's used for, as I understand it.
You might have
Well,
just made an extra wall piece in the middle of your base that could say, that'll give you protection for the rest of your fleet, because that's about as good as it is. It doesn't serve any purpose. You may as well just turn one of your walls pink. And say, that's got an aura now. That's it. Because that's about as good as the hull is. Apart from
You
the
just,
aura.
you just gave them an idea to make specialty walls, you jackass.
But you may as well.
This wall is the greatest wall ever. It has 99% corrosive resist.
It's
Build a
gonna be
wall.
yellow.
And
It's gonna be
Harlux
yellow.
is going to be huge.
I wasn't
Yeah,
going
I was
to
gonna say it's gonna be yellow and it's gonna be called the Trump wall.
And Greta's going to pay for it.
The dirty binks. Oh, sorry. Anyway, moving on.
No, they'll charge us 150 million for it.
Oh shit!
And you get no Medicare. Anyway,
good
I'm not even American. Jesus, what am I talking about? I don't even know what I'm talking about. Not a clue.
You don't have to. That's the thing. It writes itself.
We blame it. We blame it all on Mock. That's it right there.
No, obviously.
Yeah, Mark is too busy tapping phones from what we heard.
Yeah, exactly. I went down like a lead balloon and said, we are getting political, aren't we? Eh? Flipping out. Anyway,
So
Well-
South Korea.
yeah, Chancellor Merkel. Tell me about her.
I said South Korea.
All right, go on then.
You're much closer to Chancellor Merkel. You should probably tell.
We're having a good visit, aren't they?
They're having a visit.
Oh yeah, sure.
I don't know
Yeah,
about
that's it.
It's going well, isn't it?
They're having a visit.
It's going well.
They're in the same room at the same time.
Yeah, full of smiles and giggles and laughs. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
I mean, we're
Look at
laughing.
this raid.
The other thing
And that's our thoughts on the raid, everybody.
I know.
the other thought I had that I don't own one at this point, but the at
phone.
2 million,
On one what?
the draconian coaxial.
All right, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is that working well as far as because right now we got the
Against
liberator
liberators.
and the oppressor, and it sort of deals with both of them.
I don't know if it. Let me see. I don't think it shoots down mortars.
It does
does,
pretty good
yeah.
with the liberators.
It's only pen, isn't it? It's only
I've seen
10
it.
pens.
No,
Yeah.
it's pen mortar and UAV.
I thought it was.
Yeah, it doesn't do well against mortars, but it does really well against missiles if you have more than one.
Is this a
Rocket
draconian
UAV, no mortar.
It doesn't do mortar.
On the
No, it doesn't
blueprint,
do mortar?
on the blueprint, it says missile rocket UAV. I'm looking at it right now.
It doesn't do morts.
That's why
That's
you
it,
got
okay.
your.
Either that or
doesn't
mine's
do it.
broken.
Voice. Well, it could be a visual glitch. Do the Tridents actually shoot down rockets?
I don't know. I've never tested it. I've never
Last
had
time
the.
we fired.
Because
I don't know.
I think that there was like a post by Doom a long time ago, but it was recently after the Trident release. It was like, hey guys, the Tridents start shooting down rockets. And I was never clear on whether they mistakenly put rocket in the things that it counters on the blueprint, or if it's supposed to shoot down rockets and wasn't, and if it wasn't, does it now? Because we're going into, like, if we take the FM as a thing, rockets are the things that deal a lot of the damage. And if we can get something that shoots down rockets, well, that's important.
Yeah, Tridents. Yeah, can put a couple of those on your
Trident
ship.
in the back. Yeah.
Run a BB crew.
That'd be interesting because don't start that. Let's start Stu off now. He'll have a fucking meltdown.
Oh, I'm
There he is.
See, look, we can fix that though right now. There you go. So we don't have to worry about him crying about the BB crew again because it ain't broke. Anyway,
It is working. It works when I want to use it anyway. The way I want to use it. So
It works the way we all hope it does now.
exactly.
hopefully it stays that way.
Well, and the thing is too, like the rockets usually have a high salvo and a reasonably quick reload, so it's gonna chunk through your explosive damage reduction pool pretty fast if left unchecked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Or small
So
pinch.
last thing I wanted to touch on, obviously we talked about some random stuff, to be honest. We talked about most things. So the Flag Fury, is anybody going for that one? Just out of
Yes.
interest.
Yep.
You are.
No,
Yeah.
You're not. Who's not? Who's not? Brian, you're not, obviously.
no, I don't do those sorts of things. I think it's really cool. I want like people to use it with a patrol range just to piss everyone else off. They're like, yeah, I use my Liberator, I'm safe, and then it just comes in like da 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 da. Like, no.
Yeah. It's,
Put a Reaper Scout engine on it. That'd be great.
Oh man.
I just did something for Stu. That's all right. I've been meaning to catch that one. Don't worry.
I have the Fury already, and it's building.
Yeah, I'll be on my mate as well, to be honest, because I think it's gonna be good fun in the base. I like the stats on it, I have to say.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. Is anyone building it not for base defense? Because the only thing that I could see that I could use this for is griefing other players, chasing down their fleets and killing them on the map. I mean, other than
Yeah,
that,
go for mega holes as well. So
Yeah, I'm building it to drive because I think mega holes as well and that sort of stuff because it's got some crazy stats on it. So I am building it to go with the rest of my fleet, and I'm actually going to change the weapons now. My other
yeah,
ones as well.
FYI, that was definitely George that said that.
said what?
I said nothing about mega holes. That was George.
About the what? What I do? The hell did I do now?
No, Stu
Don't
mentioned the
worry
word
about it,
mega
George.
hole with a
Don't go
positive
straight in your
light.
head, like everything else in life.
Oh, they're converting him. I see.
But yeah, so yeah, I think it'd be pretty good for mega hole fights and such like that. And chasing down people's fleets. And I imagine, it's difficult because it does so much building damage. So it probably wouldn't be too good at prepping out a base guard. But yeah,
Doesn't-
I'm
doesn't
not
mega-
100% it would get in bases.
Doesn't mega count as a base? Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Is that a swear word? Sorry, mate.
I was going to, and then I changed it to blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's my plan anyway. So I'm building it as well. I think it's about a third built now. So
I already have the 4 icebreakers I wanted done.
what built or just blanks?
Flames.
Yeah.
I was gonna say filthy coiner, but
No, I thought about it, and then I went, nah.
there's no need, is there? No need. We don't need the dumb things. So
Yeah, you coin it, and then on Thursday they bring out the skill hole, and because you can't save your tokens from the raid, you've got these 12 days of tokens that you have to sink into something. So either your Empyreans or your Icebreakers, and then there's a new skill hole.
I've
I
got
think
the
better-
Pyrian, obviously, but I don't think I'm going to build it.
I don't think I'm gonna either. Like, it looks really good, and there are some people that have very respectable opinions that
I'll
that
probably
want to,
gonna-
like Ren is going for the Empyrean route, and it doesn't look bad. Like, it looks completely viable, and there are certainly positives and an argument to be made for it. I'm just not going to go that way, but I hope that it works out too.
I mean, I was going to go grab obviously I'll have extra points to know what I'm like. But I mean, I haven't actually built my first Zelos yet, like FM tanks and that. And I know like it's a little like 3 months to go, something like that.
Mhm.
I was actually just going to use the build tokens, the VXP, grab myself a Zelos, and build a backup tank for FM, just because I can.
Yeah,
you
that's
get-
exactly what I did.
So I'm looking forward to
You get a
do
free
it.
skill hole.
In fact, I have a challenge for anyone out there.
Oh Lord.
I'll not do
Basically,
your work for you.
anyone that can come up with the best build with the least damage, post it on the TFC page, and I shall build it. Because I can't be able to build my own one.
So you
That is the laziest thing I've heard in a long time.
You are just as bad as like half of the people that post on the page that are just like, I need a build for X hull. And just off to the right on the side is a link to our
My
site.
Point Seeker already wrecks the FM. So that's not my issue.
I'm glad it does well, but learn to click the link onto our website. Well, Andrew's website, because he does all the damn work.
It's good. Right, we're going to call it a night, at least for the live show, because otherwise it's going to end up like the crib.
We were done 10 minutes ago.
Brian, are you going to do another PSA? I should go outside and look at stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Get up, walk around, rest your eyes. Yeah. Okay. there you
So,
go.
do you know what? I don't think there might be a Tuesday show. It might be a Wednesday show. I'm not sure how they're going to do it. If there is something on Tuesday, obviously we'll have the show on Tuesday night.
It's not going to be released till Thursday.
But I don't think it's going to be
Thursday.
released. So I think we're going to be
Yeah.
delayed. I honestly think we'll be delayed next week. So don't be surprised if you don't see us on Tuesday night. We'll probably all be lobotomized by then anyway with this raid.
I'll have another bag of salt. I used it all up last night, but I'll have another bag ready.
I was going to say enjoy the rest of your raid, but if you're probably sick to death of it already, to be honest. It's just not one of those. The last one was definitely more enjoyable, which is bizarre because it was all full of submarines. But anyway, there's plenty of videos out there. Plug away at it, keep going, that sort of stuff. And anybody gets the 200 million for the armor, hats off, because I think you're nuts. But good on you.
I'm not.
Yeah. Hey, actually, take a look at Mark's video because I love that video. The 107 with the the ironclad in it.
Yeah, the ironclad.
Yeah.
That is a
You know what?
fantastic
That's
video.
just been posted on my alarm.
I posted that in a couple places. That's a fantastic video. I think I have an article showing the walkthrough for the 107 if you can do it with Cannoneers, and I think somebody posted the 100 now, right? There might be another video on the TFC for the 100. I mean, you guys, there's help out there. Just go and take a look at it, and it'll save you a headache if you're banging your head up against a wall. But Mark's video, for sure, everyone should be looking at that damn thing right the fuck now.
Well, I've just been doing that all this show we've just been on now, and I've just done another 8 107s for no damage at all. That's fantastic. As I've been chatting, so it's chilled. It's a good way.
And even if you don't have exactly what he has in the video, there's refit tokens, and there's VXP tokens. And a lot of the stuff is a lot cheaper now. So if you're grinding out Bs or As, you can probably get the Millennium and the HVR and all those little bits. And then your Ironclad is a 107 killing machine. And that by itself is a bit over 2 million just for killing it. So there you go.
Yep, exactly. That's
Fantastic video.
Anybody got any closing points? Robbie, you've been quiet for the last half an hour. Are you still awake?
I think she's looking still for that build for us to.
Yeah, she's trying to find the link to the TFC website for Stu.
All right, her mic's down at the moment. Okay. That's all right. Her mic's down.
Sent me the raid calculator, and I had to download it for a PDF or something like that. And the second I looked at it, I was like, "Yeah, I'm getting my calculator out. Fuck this."
Radio. So what we'll do is we'll just say thanks everybody for coming in the chat. Like I say, have a good weekend for the remainder part of the weekend, and don't get too stressed out if a 107 does come up and bite you in the ass and sink you, because it does. And I agree, George. I think the 100s, although I hate to say this because it's one of my pet hates, I do think they have turned the armor up a little bit. Okay. Right, take care. Have a good week, and we'll speak to you next week.
Bye bye,
everybody.
You guys.
Bye, everybody.